All right, today we're diving into a massive plan to get the Cardano ecosystem ready for a huge leap forward by 2026. It's a really bold proposal that could change just about everything, and it all kicks off with one very, very big number.
70 million ADA. Just let that sink in for a second. That's the number at the absolute heart of this whole thing. We're not talking about funding for some small project here. This is the proposed budget for Cardano's future.
So, the 70 million ADA would come straight from the Cardano Treasury. The idea is to fund one single coordinated program with a pretty simple goal: to build out the critical infrastructure that Cardano really needs to compete and grow on a whole new level.
Okay, so the official name for this is the Cardano Critical Integrations Budget. It's been put forward as a budget info action, which is just the formal way of getting it in front of the whole community for a vote. The mission? To add the core infrastructure layers that could finally really unlock Cardano's true potential.
This brings up the big question, right? Why now? Why is this 70 million ADA even necessary in the first place? Well, the proposal argues that even with Cardano's super strong foundations, there are still some absolutely crucial pieces missing from the puzzle.
I mean, we all know Cardano has this secure, decentralized, peer-reviewed tech. It's rock solid. So what's actually the holdup? What's keeping it from hitting that next level of serious mainstream economic activity?
And this lays out the problem perfectly. We're talking about things like Tier 1 stablecoins, institutional custody, bridges, oracles, analytics. You know, in most other big ecosystems, this stuff is just standard. It's table stakes. But on Cardano, these things are either underdeveloped, pretty limited, or just flat out missing.
This quote from the proposal really says it all. Without these basic building blocks in place, it's just incredibly difficult for Cardano to scale up and attract the kind of real-world, meaningful economic activity that everyone in the community wants to see.
So what's the fix? The proposal argues that a scattered, piecemeal approach just isn't going to cut it. Instead, it lays out a really smart, coordinated plan built around what it calls the 5 pillars of growth.
And here they are. These 5 pillars are designed to tackle the exact gaps we were just looking at. This isn't some random wish list, it's a full-on strategy to build a super robust foundation for Cardano's future. So, let's break each one down.
First up, Tier 1 stablecoins. So what does that mean? Well, think of the big, trusted names out there. We're talking about digital currencies with tons of liquidity that are designed to hold a stable value, like being pegged to $1.
And their job is absolutely critical. They act as a reliable unit of account, which is essential for more advanced stuff like DeFi, or decentralized finance, tokenizing real-world assets, also known as RWAs, and for payments in DePIN, or decentralized physical infrastructure networks. Without a stable currency, all of that gets way more volatile and way more complicated.
Pillar number 2 builds on that: institutional custody and wallets. This is all about creating top-tier, Fort Knox-level secure infrastructure. The kind that big institutions, hedge funds, banks, you name it, need to feel safe holding and managing huge amounts of digital assets on Cardano.
And why does that matter? Because let's be real, these large-scale players are not going to enter an ecosystem unless they feel their assets are totally secure and the user experience is professional. This pillar is all about building that institutional-grade trust.
Pillar 3 is on-chain analytics. The best way to think about this is like having a super high-definition window into everything that's happening on the blockchain in real time. It's about providing clear, transparent data and powerful tools to monitor it all.
And for any serious player, this is non-negotiable. Their compliance teams, their investors, they require this level of data transparency to manage their risk. It's a fundamental sign of a mature professional ecosystem.
Okay, next up, Pillar 4, cross-chain bridges. The proposal uses the perfect analogy here. It's all about breaking down the walls. These bridges are like secure tunnels that let assets, liquidity, and users move freely between Cardano and other major blockchains, like Ethereum.
You see, an ecosystem can't grow in a silo. It just can't. These bridges are the vital highways that allow value and users to flow into Cardano, and they bring with them much deeper liquidity and a way bigger user base.
And the 5th and final pillar, globally recognized pricing oracles. Think of these as super secure data feeds. They're like a gateway connecting smart contracts on the blockchain to information from the real world, like the current price of gold or stocks.
Honestly, you could argue this is the most foundational layer of them all. Oracles are the bedrock. Without these secure,
institutional-grade price feeds, those Tier 1 stablecoins we talked about can't work properly, and the complex DeFi and RWA applications, well, they just can't be built. Oracle's kind of tie everything else together.
So when you put all 5 of these pillars together, you really start to see the full picture. This is a coordinated, strategic push. This isn't just about funding 5 separate things. It's about how they all work together to get Cardano ready for 2026 and whatever comes next. And it's also really important to see who is behind this effort. This is not one group acting alone. We're talking about a coalition of the core entities in the ecosystem. Input-Output, EMURGO, the Cardano Foundation, Intersect, and the Midnight Foundation. That shows a really powerful shared commitment to Cardano's growth.
But of course, this is not a done deal. It still has to go through Cardano's governance process. That means it needs approval from the community's Delegated Representatives, the DReps, and the Constitutional Committee. And actually, the on-chain vote for the DReps is live right now.
And that leaves us with the final, absolutely critical question. The people behind this proposal believe that this 70 million ADA investment is the key to unlocking a whole new era of growth and institutional adoption for Cardano. But will the community agree? The decision they make is going to set the course for the entire ecosystem as we head into 2026.